The world is watching Syria burn as the dictatorship continues a crackdown that has cost thousands of lives. Here to talk about it is our editorial page editor, Paul Gigot. Paul, thanks for being here.
Hey, James.
So today, the U.S. Embassy shut down in Damascus, Syria. Our government now basically saying that our ambassador, who will now stay here in the United States, is just going to deal with the opposition in Syria, not the government there, the government of President Assad. The U.S. also tried to get through the UN Security Council a resolution calling on Assad to step down. That was vetoed by Russia and China.
It's actually not even, it was a very modest resolution. It was really trying to say we're going to endorse the Arab League plan, which was for a transition, that Assad would supervise a transition to a more representative government. And Russia wouldn't even abide by that. Neither would China. So the anger that the administration has professed is palpable. I mean, Susan Rice called it, basically said you'll have blood on your hands, Russia, for vetoing this, and China. And Hillary Clinton called it a travesty. So, and now they took this action today to essentially shut down the embassy there. So it's a deteriorating situation, and I think the administration is frustrated that its diplomacy has failed.
Diplomacy failing. For those who want to somehow assist the people there who are being, in many cases, killed, certainly abused by the regime.
By most accounts, more than 5,000 casualties, deaths so far at the hands of the regime.
What are the options left for the U.S.? We think back to the Reagan era, where
it's called the Coalition of the Willing, James.
Right.
I mean, you saw in Secretary of State Clinton's comments on Saturday that she, or I think as it was Sunday, she said, "Look, now we have to work outside the UN." So there's a number of nations, neighbors of Syria, the Turks, most of the Arab world, the Europeans,
right,
the United States, all of whom say Assad must go. Can they put together, a policy to help the opposition with arms, with money, with a refuge over the border in Turkey?
Right.
And perhaps could they put together some kind of no-fly zone, for example, of the kind that NATO put together in Libya? That's unlikely now, but if the brutality gets really bad, you could see a situation where that might be something they can do. But remember, James, this goes right against the administration, the Obama administration's whole approach to foreign policy, which is the United Nations will be the arbiter of collective security.
Let the UN lead. Also, I guess it's probably crossing the minds of some of the administration. Certainly you want to act on behalf of the opposition here, but if they succeeded in getting Assad out of there, I suppose there are no guarantees that the next person running it is any better, although would you be more optimistic?
No, I think we have to assume that there's no guarantees. I mean, it's run by an Alawite minority government, okay, which has allied with Iran, and the majority there is a Sunni Arab majority, and often it's fundamentalist. But I think that the longer this goes on and the violence increases, the likelihood of a good outcome afterwards goes down. And so you want, I think, a better solution earlier rather than let it deteriorate, because then it can really be a mess.
Okay.